Have you ever lain in bed with the lights off, phone finally on the nightstand, and felt your body exhausted, but your mind racing like a crowded highway? Have you ever wondered why some people seem to sleep with a quiet smile, wake up with clear eyes and steady energy, while you drag yourself through mornings as if you did not really rest at all? Hi, my friend. Welcome back to the channel. I am really glad you are here right now, especially if you are listening to this close to bedtime. Tonight we are going to walk together into those last 10 minutes before sleep, the minutes that most people throw away on scrolling random videos or anxious thinking, but that many ancient masters saw as a golden doorway. Inspiration for this episode comes from a very simple but powerful idea. It says that the state of your mind in the last moments before sleep is like a seed you plant in the deepest soil of your being. Every night you are entering a small death and a small rebirth. Your body lies still, your outer senses fade, and what you feed your inner world in that transition goes straight down into the subconscious, the subtle body, the field of karma and cause and effect. Some lineages speak of a lotus-born master who taught that breath at the doorway of sleep is not just biology. Breath is a bridge. It connects body and mind, matter and subtle energy, the ordinary day and the mysterious world of dreams. If you know how to use this bridge for even 10 minutes, you are no longer a helpless victim of your own stress. You become an artist of your inner climate. Night after night, you slowly rewrite your destiny from the inside out. In this long script, we will explore this secret in a grounded and practical way. First, we will talk about why the moments before sleep are so important from both a psychological and a spiritual perspective. Second, we will weave in stories of ordinary people who turned their nights from chaos into a kind of silent retreat, using nothing but their own breath and awareness. Third, we will gently guide you through a few breathing patterns on dinner attitudes you can practice without any special tools or apps, so that your bed becomes more than a place to collapse. It becomes a small temple of transformation. We will not use complicated jargon. We will move like a slow bedtime story. You do not need to remember every step. If just one image, one sentence, one feeling stays with you and returns tonight when you lie down, that is enough. Let us begin with a simple scene. Imagine two people going to sleep in the same city on the same night. In one apartment, a woman named Emma falls into bed after a long day. She spends her last 10 minutes scrolling a social media feed full of arguments, envy, shocking headlines, and perfect lives that make her own feel small. She breathes shallowly, shoulders tight, jaw clenched. When she finally turns off the screen, her mind continues the scroll in the dark. She replays a mistake at work. She imagines what her colleague might be saying behind her back. She replays a conversation with her partner, twisting and turning every word. She jumps forward into worst-case scenarios about the future. Her breath follows her thoughts, fast, uneven, caught in the upper chest. Eventually her body forces her into sleep. But it is not peace. It is more like collapse. Her dreams are tangled, full of anxiety, chases, sudden falls. She wakes up with a heavy head and a tight heart, as if the night gave her more noise instead of rest. In another apartment, a man named Lucas also had a long day, but when his alarm rings to signal bedtime, he places his phone across the room. He turns off the main lights and leaves only a small lamp. He sits on the edge of the bed and places a hand on his chest, one on his belly. He lets the day rise up in his mind for a moment. The conversations, the emails, the traffic, the laughter, the annoyance. Then he silently says, "Thank you for this day. Whatever was unfinished, I will face it tomorrow. For now, I will give my mind and body back to the night." He begins to breathe in a simple pattern. In through the nose, slowly, down into the belly. Out through the nose, even more slowly, like a long sigh that you are not forcing, just allowing. As he breathes, he imagines that with every exhale, his worries leave his muscles like dust floating away. With every inhale, he receives a fresh, quiet strength from something vast and benevolent that is always there beneath the surface of his rushing life. After 10 minutes, his whole system has shifted. His brain waves are calmer. His nervous system is less on guard. His heart rate is lower, but there is something more subtle too. He has turned his mind gently toward clarity, gratitude, and trust. When he lies down and closes his eyes, he is not collapsing into unconsciousness. He is entering sleep as if he is stepping into a sacred river, with respect and intention. His dreams tend to be clearer, sometimes even meaningful. He often wakes up before his alarm with a sense of having been held, rested, and renewed. 2 people, same city, same night, same number of hours in bed, completely different inner journeys. From the outside, you might say, well, he just has better sleep hygiene. But behind that phrase lies a deeper truth that many ancient teachers knew long before modern science. Your last thoughts before sleep are like the last guests who arrive at your inner house before the doors close. They sit with your subconscious all night. If those guests are panic, resentment, envy, and distraction, you can imagine what kind of conversation fills the dark. If those guests are calm, forgiveness, gratitude, and trust, the whole night changes. Breath is the most direct way to choose who those last guests will be. Most of us go through the day with breath on autopilot. We only notice it when we are winded, panicked, or out of breath. But breath is always there, quietly following and feeding our emotions. When we feel fear, it mirrors fear. When we feel anger, it mirrors anger. When we feel peace, it mirrors peace. The secret many lineages kept passing down is this: it works both ways. Mind shapes breath. Breath can also shape mind, especially in those transition times when consciousness is soft, like at dawn, at dusk, and right before sleep. Let us look at 3 stories of people who changed their nights and their lives with this simple understanding. The first is about a woman named Natalie. Natalie had struggled with insomnia for years. She tried herbal teas, white noise, expensive pillows, strict schedules. Some of it helped a little, but her basic pattern remained the same. Her body would be tired, yet her mind would be a bright, merciless lamp, shining on every worry and regret it could find. She hated nighttime. She feared her own bed. It felt like a battlefield where she lost every single night. One day, in a moment of desperation, she went to a small workshop on stress and meditation. She almost left when the teacher started talking about spiritual traditions and the subtle body. But something in her was too exhausted to run. The teacher said, "We spend all day throwing stones into the lake of our mind. By the time night comes, the surface is a storm. And then we lie down and complain that we cannot see the moon's reflection. Of course we cannot. The water is still moving. Breath is one way to stop throwing stones." He taught a very simple practice. For 10 minutes before bed, lie on your back. Place one hand on your heart, the other on your belly. As you breathe in through your nose, count slowly to 4. Feel the belly rise. As you breathe out through your nose, count slowly to 6. Feel the belly fall. The numbers are not magic. The magic is in lengthening the exhale just a little more than the inhale. That tells the nervous system, you are safe. You can soften now, he said. Do not fight your thoughts. Do not demand silence. Just keep your attention gently on the counting and the feeling of the breath moving your body. Let thoughts come and go like clouds while you keep your hand on the mountain of your chest. He asked them to commit for at least 21 nights. Natalie was skeptical. Her mind said, I have tried everything. This is just breathing. But she agreed, mostly out of a sense that she had nothing to lose. The first night, she felt restless. Thoughts kept dragging her away from the counting. She would get to 3 and suddenly realize she had been mentally planning next week's schedule. At the end of 10 minutes, she did not feel very different, but she kept going. By the 5th night, she noticed a small shift. The moment she put her hand on her heartened belly, her body began to respond. It was as if her system was starting to recognize this as a signal. We are going into rest mode now. By the 10th night, she realized she was falling asleep in the middle of the practice. At first, she felt like she had failed. Then she laughed at herself. Was that not the point? More interesting than when she fell asleep was how she felt during the day. Worries that used to stick to her mind like heavy mud began to slide off more easily. She did not turn into a different person, but she walked through her day with a bit more spaciousness. On a particularly stressful day, she caught herself thinking, it is okay. I know how to soften tonight. That thought itself was a blessing. The bed was no longer a battlefield. It was becoming a place of reunion with her own breath and heart. After several months, insomnia was no longer the center of her identity. Sleep still had ups and downs, as it does in any human life, but she had learned that she was not a powerless victim of whatever thoughts decided to show up at midnight. She had discovered a small, repeatable ritual that brought her back to herself. That is how destiny begins to shift in quiet, almost invisible ways. The second story is about a man named Daniel. Daniel did not have trouble falling asleep. He had trouble with what happened after. His dreams were heavy and dark, full of anger, fear, and replayed arguments. He would wake up clenching his teeth, heart racing, soaked in sweat from scenes that felt too real. He grew up in a rough environment. His childhood was full of shouting, sudden violence, and instability. As an adult, he worked hard, tried to build a stable life. Yet at night, it was as if the ghosts of his past gathered at the side of his bed and dragged him back. He went to therapy and made good progress. He understood his trauma better. He learned coping skills. But the dream stayed. One evening, his therapist said, "We have talked a lot about what happened to you. Today I want to talk about what you can do with what happens now." Every night, before sleep, she explained that the brain replays and processes memories during certain sleep phases. If he went to sleep full of fresh anger and unresolved tension, his night mind would have more material to build nightmares. She suggested a simple breathing and forgiveness ritual before bed. She warned him that it was not about forcing poison down with sugar. It was about slowly, sincerely choosing not to feed the same fires over and over. She invited him to sit on his bed, close his eyes, and imagine the people who had hurt him most standing in front of him, one by one. First, he would breathe in slowly, feeling the tightness in his chest. On the exhale, he would silently say, "I release the wish to keep punishing you in my mind. I release this scene for tonight. I am not doing this for you. I am doing it so I can rest." He did not start with the biggest wound. He began with smaller grudges. He breathed, felt, and released. Sometimes he cried. Sometimes he felt nothing. Sometimes he was angry that he had to do this work at all. Then he would turn the same breath toward himself. He would breathe in and picture his younger self, small and frightened. On the exhale, he would say inwardly, "I am sorry you had to carry this alone. You did not deserve it. Tonight, may you sleep in peace." At the end, he would put both hands on his heart and take 10 slow breaths, imagining that with each exhale, he was laying down one stone of the heavy armor he had built around himself. The first week, his dreams seemed even more intense. Old scenes surfaced. He almost gave up, but his therapist had warned him, sometimes when you begin to clean a room, the dust rises. Keep going. After a month, a different pattern emerged. The nightmares did not vanish completely, but they changed flavor. He began to have dreams where he stood up for himself, where he walked away from violence, where he found hidden doors out of old houses. He would wake up with tears on his face, yet also with a feeling of release. He realized that his nightly breathing and intention had turned sleep into a kind of deep therapy. He was not just being tortured by his dreams, he was working through them. His breath had become like a gentle guide, leading him through places he used to avoid. This, too, is part of the secret many masters taught. Breath before sleep is not only for relaxation, it can also be used to direct the stream of karma, to nudge the currents of the subconscious in a kinder direction. The third story is about a woman named Dila, who used the 10 minutes before sleep as a time of direct spiritual practice. Dila had always been interested in awakening, in words like enlightenment, liberation, true nature. She read many books, attended retreats, listened to talks. During the day, she often felt inspired, but in daily life, her habits of irritation, impatience, and self-doubt still ruled. One day, she heard a teaching that shifted her perspective. The teacher said, "You keep looking for awakening in special moments, in perfect retreats, in dramatic experiences, but every night, as you fall asleep, you pass through a doorway that saints and sages have used for centuries. You are close to the edge between waking and dreaming, between controlling and letting go. That is a perfect moment to turn your attention toward your true nature." The teacher suggested a simple practice. As you lie down, before you start breathing patterns or repeating mantras, take a moment to ask, "Who is the one that is about to fall asleep?" Do not try to answer with words. Just feel into that question. Notice the sense of being. You are not your job at that moment. You are not your roles, your functions, your reputation, your possessions. You are simply this mysterious awareness that is aware of tiredness, of the pillow, of the darkness. If thoughts arise, do not fight them. Let them come and go. Keep resting as the one who notices. As sleep comes closer, keep a gentle intention in your heart. Even as I fall into dreams, may some small part of me remember this awareness. May I sleep in the arms of my true nature. Dila took this to heart. At first, it felt too subtle. She was used to more obvious practices, but she persisted. Night after night, she brought her attention back to the simple sense of I am. Not the I am this or that, just I am. Over time, something changed. Sometimes, in the middle of a dream, she would suddenly become a little lucid, aware that she was dreaming. In those moments, she did not try to control the dream. She simply recognized, even here, there is awareness. She felt a strange joy in those instances, as if she had found a light in a place she thought was only darkness. In daily life, she noticed another shift. She was less likely to be completely swallowed by drama. When anger or sadness rose, a quiet voice inside would say, "This is happening in awareness. You are not only this storm." Her breathing practice before sleep had become like a bridge connecting waking practice and dream practice, daily meaningful sense and night meaningful sense. You may not be interested in lucid dreams or advanced paths, but the basic insight is for everyone. Those last 10 minutes can be used not only to relax, but also to remember who you really are beneath all the layers of the day. So, what can you actually do tonight? Practically, with all of this, imagine this as a suggested flow rather than a strict rule. You can adjust it to your own body and life. First, create a small signal that tells your nervous system, daytime is over. It could be as simple as turning off overhead lights and switching to a softer lamp, or playing a certain gentle sound for a few minutes. Try to avoid staring into a bright screen right up to the last second. It is like shining a torch into your brain and then asking it to be dark. Second, sit or lie down in a position that feels comfortable but not sloppy. If you lie down, bend your knees slightly or place a pillow under them. If you sit, rest your back against the headboard or walls so you do not strain. Third, bring your attention to your breath. Do not try to breathe in a fancy way at first. Just notice what is already happening. Is it shallow, fast, tight? Where does it move most? Chest or belly? Fourth, gently guide it toward a more peaceful rhythm. In through the nose to a slow count of 4. Out through the nose to a slow count of 6. If 4 and 6 feel too long, use 3 and 5. The exhale being a little longer is the key. Do this for a few minutes. As you breathe, let your shoulders drop on the exhale. Imagine that your muscles are melting into the bed. Fifth, add a quiet intention. On the inhalation, you can silently say, breathing in, I receive calm. On the exhalation, breathing out, I release the day. You do not have to force belief. Just keep your attention on the feeling of the breath and the meaning of the words. If your mind drags you into planning or replaying, do not scold yourself. Every time you notice you are lost, that is already a moment of awareness. Gently come back. This coming back is the real practice. Sixth, if you carry heavy resentment or hurt, you can add a brief forgiveness breath. Choose one small hurt, not the biggest one. Breathe, then unfeel where the hurt lives in your body. Breathe out and say inwardly, for tonight, I lay this down. That does not mean you condone what happened. It means you are giving yourself permission to rest. Seventh, if you are drawn to spiritual practice, you can end by resting for a few breaths in simple awareness. Ask softly, who is breathing? Then let the question float. Feel the quiet presence that is aware of everything. If you fall asleep somewhere in the middle of all this, do not worry. The body knows when to let go. The important part is that you used those last minutes as a deliberate turning toward peace. Now, let me talk directly to the part of you that might be resisting all of this. You may be thinking, I am too tired to do a ritual. I just want to pass out. Or, my problems are too big for breathing to fix. Or, I have tried things like this before and always failed. I do not trust myself to stick with it. If that is what you are hearing in your mind, know that you are not alone. Most people who eventually find deep value in night practice started from doubt, fatigue, and low self-trust. The key is to make it very small and very kind. Do not tell yourself you must do 30 minutes, or you are a failure. Start with 3 minutes. Truly, just 3. Promise yourself you will give your breath your full attention for 3 short minutes before you give yourself permission to sink into sleep. If you skip a night, do not use it as proof that you are hopeless. Just start again the next night. Every attempt counts. Every single time you choose breath over scrolling, awareness over automatic worry, you are strengthening a new pathway in your brain and a new pattern in your subtle energy. Imagine your inner world as a field. For years, maybe decades, you have been letting weeds of anxiety and resentment grow without much conscious gardening. Now, for a few minutes every night, you are planting a different seed. You will not wake up tomorrow in a completely different landscape, but as weeks and months pass, you will likely notice that some old weeds grow a little less wild. Some new flowers appear in corners you had given up on. Some new paths open through territories that used to feel like endless swamp. There is another layer to this practice that touches on destiny, karma, and the journey of the soul. Many traditions say that the way we die is deeply influenced by the way we live, and that every night of sleep is a small rehearsal for that final letting go. When you fall asleep in fear, clinging, and confusion, you are rehearsing one kind of ending. When you fall asleep in gratitude, trust, and awareness, you are rehearsing another. If you idly feed your mind with anger every night, that anger becomes more deeply woven into your being. If you patiently cultivate compassion and clarity at the edge of sleep, those qualities also sink deeper, becoming part of the foundation from which your choices arise. Think of your 10 minutes before sleep as a small, daily vote. Are you voting for chaos or for harmony? For unconsciousness or for awakening? For the repetition of old karma or for the planting of new causes? This is not about guilt or perfection. It is about recognizing that you are far more powerful than you are. Even lying in bed, in pajamas, with your hair messy and your body tired, you still hold the pen that writes on the pages of your deeper mind. At this point, imagine we are sitting together in a quiet room, the lights slow, perhaps a candle flickering somewhere. I want to ask you a few gentle questions, not to answer out loud, but to feel. How do you usually spend your last 10 minutes before sleep? What kind of thoughts are you feeding yourself at that time? If those thoughts were food, are they nourishing or toxic? If they were guests, would you invite them back again and again? You might notice patterns. Maybe some nights you are replaying a mistake at work. Maybe others you are scrolling through arguments that have nothing to do with your actual life. Maybe you are rehearsing imaginary disasters. Now imagine a different pattern. Imagine that tonight, when you lie down, you place a hand on your heart and feel it beating. You realize that this heart has been beating for you all day without being asked, without demanding payment, without conditions. You take one slow breath in, one slow breath out, and whisper, "Thank you." Imagine that you choose one small thing from the day to be grateful for. It could be as simple as the taste of your morning drink, a smile from a stranger, a song you liked. Imagine that you consciously forgive yourself for one thing you did imperfectly. You can tell yourself, "I see where I fell short. I will try again tomorrow. For now, I release the whip." Imagine that you breathe this way for a few minutes, then surrender to sleep. What kind of dreams might grow from that soil? What kind of mornings might rise from that night? What kind of life might slowly be shaped by hundreds of such nights? Before we close, I want to share a few reflections that many people send after they experiment with this for a while. Some say, "I did not realize how brutally I was talking to myself before sleep until I replaced it with simple breathing. I used to list my failures, Now I list my efforts. My sleep feels less like punishment and more like healing. Some say, my nightmares did not vanish, but they became less sticky. I stopped waking up with the feeling that the past owned me. Breath became a friend that walked me through the dark. Some say, the biggest change was not in my dreams, but in my days. Knowing that I had a small sacred time at night made me behave differently. I did not want to carry certain arguments into that space, so I resolved them earlier or let them go. All of these point to the same simple truth: those 10 minutes are not small. They are where the surface of your life and the depths of your being touch. So now, my friend, I want to invite you into this experiment. Tonight, when you are about to fall into your usual pattern, remember this conversation. Remember Natalie with her hand on her chest and belly. Remember Daniel breathing out old grudges for the sake of his own rest. Remember Ewa asking, "Who is the one that is about to fall asleep?" Choose one of these threads and follow it. 3 minutes, 5, 10 if you feel up to it. No pressure, no perfectionism, just genuine curiosity. You might even come back in a week, a month, and share in the comments what happened. Did your nights feel different? Did your mornings? Did your relationship with your own mind start to shift, even slightly? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear on a night when they feel hopeless and alone with their thoughts. If this long script gave you some comfort, clarity, or inspiration, you can support this channel in simple ways. You can subscribe so you will not miss future deep dives into topics like breath, consciousness, karma, awakening, compassion, and the practical art of living. You can click like so that the platform knows there are people who value this kind of slow, thoughtful content. You can share it with someone who lies awake at night and might need a gentle, non-judgmental guide into a different way of meeting sleep. And if you feel drawn to walk more closely with this community and help sustain the time, study, and heart that go into these long-form episodes, you can consider joining as a member. Most of all, as you step into your own night after reading this, remember a single line: your last 10 minutes before sleep are not a trash bin for leftover worries. They are a sacred doorway. May you walk through that doorway more consciously. May your breath become your friend and guide. May your nights slowly become gentler, your mornings clearer, and your whole life more aligned with the quiet wisdom that has always lived in the depth of your own heart. At the end of the day, we all need something that brings us back to ourselves. Something that reminds us to slow down, breathe, and stay centered. Simple bracelet can do exactly that. Every bead you touch brings your mind back to calm, back to clarity, back to the present moment. If one of the bracelets you just saw resonates with you, you can find the purchase link in the video description and explore more beautiful styles in our channel store. Let the one meant for you find its way to your wrist.